More rain in the forecast this morning with a possible change over to snow. I'm tracking cooler air on the way tomorrow.
This morning, we're looking at how our record-setting snowfall this year and all this rain could impact spring flooding. Classes are called off once again this morning at Harding High School, almost a week after a student was stabbed to death.
The charge is now filed against a 16-year-old and what students will see when they return to school.
And a roof partially caves in downtown Mankato. The new video we just got in overnight.
Plus, changing the narrative in beer culture.
People of color in this industry that look like me, it just shows that we could be in any industry and you don't feel alone.
It's Wednesday, February 15th. KARE 11 Sunrise starts right now. And this morning we are helping you have a smooth Wednesday commute as more rain falls across the metro. Mobile 11 live on the roadways this morning, keeping an eye on that commute. And then take a look at the radar here. You can see that big wall of snow moving here across the area, moving there into the Twin Cities.
Yeah, good Wednesday morning here at 6:01. We're also seeing some school delays, closings, and some schools even moving to distance learning. You can see all of those scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen. You can also get the full list at KARE11.com/closings. And it's already starting to snow in the KARE 11 backyard. We had to look very closely to the screen, but it's happening out there, guys.
Yeah, it really is too. I mean, the camera really doesn't do it justice, but I am seeing some light snow showers out here, and I'm gonna have to grab my hat so I can keep the flakes out my face. I forgot to grab it out, but yes, looks like pavement's still making out a-okay, so that's good news. Roadways, pavement still really saturated and wet at this point, but still just give yourself a heads up as temperatures cool off. Some patchy ice possible in some spots this morning. So a quick little blast of snow this morning. You'll see by 9 a.m. is when things will finally completely shut off. By 1 o'clock, we're talking about wind gusts of up to 35-40 miles per hour possible. That's going to usher in the cooler air. You'll see temperatures continue to fall, and of course that's before the wind chill. I would dress for the teens. I'm even feeling the wind out here now as things starting to ramp up on us right now. So I'll continue to track this out, plus a look at some cooler air coming up.
All right, sure thing. Thanks, Guy. Taking a look at the roads. And again, Guy said it's hard to see the snow on camera. That is the case for all our traffic cameras. Hard to find it, but it is coming. Fortunately, right now, not causing any issues across the metro. As you can see, just a couple breakdowns. Drive times looking spot on. There's only one issue that we continue to track. That is right here, 169 southbound through New Hope. Some slowing because of this massive puddle. Oh, and they're gonna move the camera on me. Here we go, right here. I give up. Slowing on 169 southbound before you get to Bass Lake Road because we've got some flooding. Be aware of that.
All right, Jen over there doing the traffic dance this morning. Thank you so much. Right now, roads across the metro are wet from the rain that started yesterday morning and just didn't stop. In fact, it's still raining right now in the Twin Cities. That rain eventually changing over to snow. And now the big question, how will all this rain and snow that's already on the ground impact our spring flooding?
We already saw on the roads, it's not helping there. Much of Minnesota is still under drought conditions, though, so it might help us out a little bit. CC's live in Golden Valley this morning with some new information from the National Weather Service. What can you tell us, CC?
Good morning. Well, I can tell you that the National Weather Service thinks the amount of wet weather we're seeing this month is definitely unusual. But they did just release a spring flooding outlook, and it looks like the flooding we'll see this spring should be pretty close to normal. Here's why. So despite the healthy snowpack that we have, the outlook says the drier than normal soil, low water levels in lakes and rivers, and a shallow frost will help alleviate the flooding threat. Experts say last year's drought is actually helping because there's a lot of room in the soil to soak up a lot of what will melt. The NWS says soil moisture has started to recover over much of the area, but it's still below normal. But with more winter to go, the flooding outlook could change.
A lot of it will end up depending on, do we keep adding more snow through the end of the winter, and then what kind of melt do we get? Will we have strong, fast warm up, rain on top of snow when it's 50, 60 degrees, that sort of thing, and those things would cause flooding.
Now, as we move into spring, the National Weather Services, they will be releasing a couple more updated flood outlooks. Back over to you.
All right, CC Live this morning for us. Thank you so much.
And no matter the weather, grab your phone, download the free KARE 11 weather app. It's one of the best ways you can stay ahead of any weather event heading towards your neighborhood. With personalized forecasts, live radar, and weather alerts, you can find it wherever you get your apps.
More of your headlines this morning, and this morning we're learning about the charges a 16-year-old faces after last week's deadly stabbing at Harding High School in St. Paul. Here are the details.
I'm Lou Bragoose. A 16-year-old student is charged in juvenile court with murder stemming from the deadly stabbing at Harding High School last week. The court papers say the victim, 15-year-old Devin Scott, and another student started fighting the 16-year-old in the hallway. After administrators pulled them apart, the teen allegedly lunged forward and stabbed the victim twice. He told an administrator the boys jumped him. Ramsey County prosecutors want to move the case to adult court. That will be decided next month.
The Harding High School students won't return to class until Friday. District leaders say when students do come back, there will be an additional school support liaison and 2 St. Paul police officers on campus. They say it's a temporary solution to give them more time to come up with permanent changes to make sure students and staff feel safe.
I want to be clear that these immediate steps are the first step. We are not going to be able to prevent the challenges that our community is facing and that sadly sometimes come into our schools as well with one brief and quick, swift action.
Now, the district has not had an official partnership with St. Paul Police for 3 years when the board voted to do away with school resource officers. The superintendent says he would like to revisit that decision.
The Oxford Community Center in St. Paul will reopen this weekend after a teen was allegedly shot by a worker last month. 26-year-old Xavier Binford Jr. is accused of shooting the teen outside of the building during a fight. On its first day back open, the center will have special hours from noon to 5. St. Paul Parks and Rec says regular building and programming hours will start Sunday. There's new information this morning about the mass shooting at Michigan State University.
We now know the 3 people shot and killed were MSU students. 5 others were critically injured. Classes have been canceled for the rest of the week. Right now, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a 43-year-old man with no known ties to the school to walk into 2 buildings and start shooting. He later took his own life.
I could hear gunshots like directly behind my head. I just grabbed my backpack and my phone. And I just remember I just ran for my life.
Nobody knows how to digest this. People are walking around campus really scared.
And just heartbreaking. MSU officials say both buildings were open to the public and they have no idea how long the gunman had been on campus before the shooting began. Universities in the metro are now taking steps to help their students, faculty, and staff feel safer after the Michigan shootings. At the U of M, President Joan Gable wrote in a letter, quote, "We recognize the deep impact a traumatic event like this or others has had on our community and encourage you to access available mental health resources." At Hamline University, security is also being heightened on campus, and at St. Thomas, officials tell us they haven't taken any actions yet, but they're always evaluating strategies to make campus safer for everyone. Also, tonight's Gophers men's basketball game against Michigan State is postponed as the Spartans deal with the aftermath of that shooting. Head coach Ben Johnson says he doesn't know when the game will be made up, but expressed his sympathy for everyone affected.
In just a few hours from now, former Vice President Mike Pence will land in the Twin Cities. He's expected to speak in Minneapolis about parents' rights on the heels of a bill introduced in Minnesota that aims to protect gender-affirming medical care for trans youth. Pence is in the middle of a legal challenge of a subpoena from the special counsel that's investigating former President Donald Trump's involvement in the January 6th insurrection. Some political experts are expecting the former VP to announce his plans on running for president in 2024. Well, turning back to weather now as we take a live look from Mobile 11. The wiper blades are active. This is out of Eden Prairie in the Southwest Metro. You can see roads not in bad shape, but a lot of spots are dealing with that rain turning now into snow, Guy.
Yes, and that's exactly what I'm finding back here in the KARE 11 yard. I'm not sure if the camera's doing it justice, but you got the snow coming down. It is light, but the wind starts to go, and then the snow just starts to blow a little bit sideways out here. It's going to be that kind of morning, and the snow will be brief, so that's a little bit of some good news for you. Snow won't be lasting here all day long. Snow will taper by the time we get into about mid to late morning. Still got blizzard warnings here in north and western Minnesota, far north and western Minnesota. Minnesota and eastern North and South Dakota. Also, winter weather advisories here still posted for central and northern Minnesota for the counties you see highlighted in purple. Notice Hennepin and the Twin Cities Metro. We're not under any winter weather advisories or anything like that, but still, with a little bit of some snow and the rain that fell yesterday, it's possible we could see some slick spots out there during the morning commute. So this little tail end of snow here, you can see this little line of snow. This is going to quickly push through the Twin Cities Metro here for the next couple of hours. By the time we get to around 9 a.m. or so, we'll already start to see things taper off and push well off to the east. Pine City, North Branch, up to Duluth, right along 35, all finding some light to moderate snow. And you can see just over Hennepin, south of that, Northfield, finding a little bit of some snow, but not everybody. It looks like things have kind of pushed through the St. Cloud area moments ago, or a few hours ago. So now things are slowly starting to slow down for a good chunk of us. It's really just the Twin Cities now. It's our turn to kind of see that snow just push on through. 35 right now, it feels like 24. Winds out of the northwest at 20 miles per hour, and that's only to increase throughout the daytime. We could see some occasional gusts of up to 30 miles per hour. Notice temperatures are dropping too. You'll see mid-20s later this afternoon. It's going to feel like the teens. Come tomorrow morning, we have lows in the single digits. You factor in the wind, going to feel sub-zero. So get ready to bust out the heavier coat tomorrow morning.
All right, thank you, Guy. Again, New Hope is the area where we're seeing the biggest disruption to traffic this morning because of flooding, blocking essentially it looks like almost the entire left-hand lane on 169 southbound. This is before you get to Bass Lake Road. As you can see, cars are limited to the right lane, and that is causing delays. Expect delays 169 southbound through New Hope this morning. As we look at the rest of the map, though, not looking too bad. That snow not impacting anything as it continues to move its way east. Let's look, though, again, 169, because of that flooding near the New Hope area, your drive time, if you're heading south, up to 16 minutes. That's about double what it normally is. Alicia?
Gonna want to avoid 169 southbound right now. Thank you, Jen. Well, Hyundai and Kia owners, you're gonna want to stay tuned for this next story.
In less than 3 minutes, how the car companies are helping fix a problem plaguing customers.
Then we're getting to know Jason, this guy right here, just a little bit better.
Just a little bit. I'm answering some burning questions in less than 10 minutes. I wonder what you guys are going to ask me, even though you've already asked me.